Welcome. I'm your host Aditi Singh and you're watching My India. There was widespread grief and sorrow as the world mourned the tragic crash of an Air India flight carrying 242 people in Ahmedabad in the western state of Gujarat on June 12th. The devastating incident ranks amongst the worst disasters in the history of civil aviation. The global community expressed heartfelt condolences over the loss of lives, highlighting the deep emotional impact of the tragedy.
On June 12th, tragedy struck just moments after an Air India Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner took off from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, en route to London. Within a few seconds after takeoff, Captain Sumit Sabharwal sent out a mayday to air traffic control. No thrust, losing power, unable to lift, as the aircraft began a rapid, uncontrolled descent. Seconds later, the aircraft crashed into a nearby medical college hostel, claiming the lives of over 240 people, mostly passengers and crew, and leaving dozens injured on the ground. Among the onboard victims were 169 Indians, 53 Britons, 7 Portuguese, and 1 Canadian citizen.
We are going to do a fair and thorough investigation. We are not going to spare anyone. We are not going to leave any stone unturned. We will do properly according to the protocol, and we are going to go to the depth of why this incident has happened. That much I can tell you now.
The authorities responded swiftly, launching rescue and relief operations to support survivors on the ground. Miraculously, there was a lone survivor who was somehow able to escape the aircraft. Vishwas Kumar Ramesh, age 40, a British national of Indian origin, was seated in 11A. Prime Minister Narendra Modi visited the injured in the hospital, offering comfort and solidarity in their darkest hour. He also surveyed the crash site, where the ill-fated Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner had plowed into a medical college hostel, leaving a trail of devastation. Earlier, Union Home Minister Amit Shah visited both the hospital and the site, assuring full support for the grieving families and those battling for their lives. Britain dispatched an investigation team to India following the crash, as 53 of the victims were British nationals.
It is an ongoing investigation. It'll take some time, but our hearts and our thoughts are absolutely with the friends and families of all those affected who are going to be absolutely devastated by this awful news.
Heartfelt condolences are pouring in from across the globe following the tragic Air India plane crash. World leaders, citizens, and communities are united in grief, offering prayers and solidarity to the victims and their families during this time of immense sorrow. Calling the incident horrific, U.S. President Donald Trump extended his sympathies, joining the international chorus of compassion in the wake of one of aviation's darkest days.
The plane crash was terrible. I've already told them anything we can do. It's a big country, a strong country, and they'll handle it, I'm sure, but I let them know that anything we can do, we'll be over there immediately. But it was a horrific crash.
The Air India crash in Ahmedabad has raised global concerns over aviation safety. The United States has sent a team from the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, and the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, along with experts from Boeing and engine maker GE Aerospace to assist India in investigating the incident.
At DOT and at the FAA, safety always comes first. And in this investigation, we are going to follow the facts. As the acting administrator will discuss, we're in the process of deploying a team from the FAA, from the NTSB. We also have GE and Boeing that are deploying their resources and investigators to India. I would just note that India leads the investigation.
The tragic Air India crash has united the world in grief and sparked a global push for enhanced aviation safety. As investigations unfold, nations stand together in support, seeking answers and accountability.
India and Central Asian nations are charting a dynamic new roadmap, transforming historic cultural ties into a forward-looking partnership. The recent 4th India-Central Asia Dialogue in New Delhi highlighted growing trust, shared ambitions and regional unity. Rooted in India's extended neighbourhood vision, it marks a key step in redefining India's strategic role in Eurasia.
India and Central Asia, bound by centuries of civilizational exchange, are building a modern partnership rooted in shared strategic interests. This spirit was reflected in New Delhi as External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar inaugurated the 4th India-Central Asia Dialogue, reaffirming India's commitment to deeper regional engagement. As a key pillar of India's extended neighbourhood policy, the dialogue provided a crucial platform to boost cooperation in a region rich in resources and strategic significance.
India deeply cherishes its millennia-old civilizational and cultural ties with Central Asia. These age-old bonds, forged through trade, exchange of ideas, and people-to-people contacts, have strengthened over time, evolving into a partnership which is defined by shared aspirations, shared opportunities, and common challenges.
In a vibrant display of diplomacy, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi met with the foreign ministers of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan on the sidelines of the India-Central Asia Dialogue. The talks focused on deepening cooperation in trade, energy, security, and emerging technologies. Earlier, the ministers joined Indian business leaders at the India-Central Asia Business Council, highlighting trade and investment as key drivers of regional growth. This high-level engagement marks a move toward a dynamic, interconnected future where India and Central Asia advance as strategic partners in progress.
Kazakhstan is well positioned to boost up natural synergies with India in trade, connectivity, critical mineral dialogue, energy security, digital sector, and humanitarian ties. India is currently the fastest growing economic powerhouse, and according to some experts, very soon your country can become the 3rd largest economy of the world. Kazakhstan is ready to be a reliable long-term partner for India in achieving its ambitious goal under the Viksit Bharat program by increasing supplies of strategic energy resources, steel and metals, rare earth minerals, food and agricultural products.
The India-Central Asia Business Council meet highlighted strategic alignment and a shared focus on innovation and future-ready collaboration. Foreign ministers underscored the Council's growing relevance, calling for its expansion into high-impact areas like AI, digital technologies, and knowledge exchange, where India is rapidly emerging as a global leader.
We attach great importance to the activities of the Central Asia-India Business Council. The experience and framework established under this council must now be actively utilized and expanded. We would like to initiate systematic collaboration in high technologies, artificial intelligence, and explore India's experience in building digital platforms.
The joint potential of India and Central Asia countries is not only an opportunity for mutual growth, but also the prospect of establishing a new hub for sustainable development and global power in the 21st century.
India and the Central Asian nations are not just revisiting historical ties, they are reimagining them for a future rooted in innovation, connectivity, and shared prosperity. From minerals to markets, digital platforms to green energy, this partnership is expanding with ambition and purpose. At the crossroads of geography and strategy, The India-Central Asia dialogue marks a pivotal step in India's growing role in Eurasia, anchored in mutual trust, cultural affinity, and a shared vision for a more inclusive, stable, and prosperous region.
Moving on to Patri near Haridwar, where faith blossoms once again, carrying forward an ancient tradition that unites hearts beyond the bounds of religion, caste, or creed. This is the 856th annual Urs of the revered Sufi saint Shah Muhammad Shah, lovingly known as Katha Pir Baba. The air resonates with soulful qawwalis and the quiet strength of unity. From security to sanitation, medical aid to clean water, every arrangement is made to ensure a safe and dignified experience for all devotees. This isn't just a religious gathering, it's a living example of oneness. At the Dargah of Katha Pir Baba, faith builds bridges, not boundaries. Take a look.
In the quiet expanse of Patri near Haridwar, where the air carries the scent of devotion and the rhythm of timeless faith, a centuries-old tradition breathes once again. The 856th Urs of Sufi saint Shah Muhammad Shah, known as Katha Pir Baba, is more than a religious event. It's a vibrant symbol of communal harmony. People of all faiths gather from across regions, offering flowers, chadars, and jaggery, united in their prayers for peace, healing, and shared spiritual hope. Devotees believe that offering a simple rolling pin or a humble broom at the dargah leads to swift fulfillment of wishes, a gesture of faith that carries profound spiritual power.
और जो मन्नत हम मांगते हैं वो पूरी होती है। हमारे बुजुर्ग भी यहाँ आते थे, उन्होंने हमें बताया कि वहाँ पे जाना, प्रसाद चढ़ाना, यहाँ पे बेलनी चढ़ती है, प्रसाद में झाड़ू चढ़ती है और जो हम मन्नत मांगते हैं पूरी होती है।
बाबा शाह मोहम्मद शाह की ये दरगाह है यहाँ पर। ये पथरी के जंगलों के बीच स्थित है और बड़ी दूर दूर से यहाँ पर श्रद्धालु आते हैं। वैसे तो साल भर यहाँ भक्तों का तांता लगा रहता है, लेकिन साल में एक बार यहाँ पर उर्स बढ़ता है और उर्स में बड़ी संख्या में यहाँ पर लोग आते हैं। मैं कहता हूँ कि लाखों की संख्या में आते हैं।
Every year, lakhs of devotees gather here, yet never a conflict, only silken threads of harmony woven through generations. It's not just a spiritual space, it's a sanctuary of dignity and order. This sacred dargah knows no barriers, no caste, no creed, no division, only faith and a profound sense of shared humanity.
ये उत्साह हिंदू, मुस्लिम, सिख, ईसाई सब आते हैं यहाँ पे और सब धर्मों को मानने वाले आते हैं और जो ये यहाँ पे आके भाईचारा कायम करते हैं और फिर दूसरी बात ये यहाँ पे सबकी मुरादें पूरी होती हैं।
In an era where lines divide and fears rise, the Urs of Katha Pir Baba shines bright as a beacon of unity, a sacred celebration of India's plural soul, and a reminder that faith, when shared with love, knows no boundaries. As the soulful echoes of prayer fade into the Patri breeze, the legacy of Katha Pir Baba lives on, binding hearts, generations, and communities. The Urs is not just a ritual, but a reflection of India's spiritual fabric, where devotion dissolves division and unity blossoms through the quiet power of shared belief.
Now, let's delve into World in Focus, featuring the latest global developments and events shaping our world.
South Korea's cosmetic startups are gaining traction in the US, boosted by the global popularity of K-pop and strong online sales. Beauty brand Tir, known for its cushion foundations catering to darker skin tones, will launch in select Ulta Beauty stores this summer. Skincare label D'Alba Global, recognized for its vegan mist serum and tone-up sunscreens, is negotiating with major US retailers like Costco, Target and Ulta for offline store placements. Olive Young, South Korea's leading beauty retailer, also plans to open its first US store in Los Angeles this year. According to Euromonitor, the top 5 Korean cosmetics brands have seen a 71% annual average growth in US online sales over the past 2 years, outpacing the 15% growth of leading French brands. However, concerns loom over new US tariffs, with a 25% tariff on South Korean products temporarily reduced to 10% until July 8 under President Trump's trade policies. In Russia, food inflation is a major economic concern, with staples like potatoes tripling in price over the past year due to poor harvest, rising production costs, and high interest rates. Unlike developed economies, food comprises around 40% of Russia's inflation basket, prompting the central bank to closely monitor prices when setting rates. Despite a recent cut, the benchmark rate remains at 20%, one of the highest since 2003. Inflation expectations among the public remain high as essentials like cabbage, onions, and beets, key ingredients in beetroot soup, surge in price. Pensioners and low-income groups who spend over a third of their income on food are particularly affected. The government has responded by boosting imports, with Egypt and Belarus stepping in to supply potatoes. Experts expect food prices to stabilize by July, but inflation for the poor still exceeds 20%, far above the national average, exacerbating economic strain for vulnerable populations.
India, a land of 1.4 billion dreams, is powering ahead with an ambitious vision. Round-the-clock electricity for every home, industry and farm by 2030. At the heart of this energy revolution is coal, not just fueling progress, but driving innovation, sustainability and social transformation. From smart mining to cleaner technologies, coal is lighting up lives and laying the foundation for a brighter, bolder India. Take a look.
India is racing toward energy security and universal electricity access, targeting 500 gigawatts of installed power capacity by 2030. The aim? Reliable 24/7 electricity for every home, farm, and industry. As the world's third largest energy consumer, India's demand is rising 4 to 5% annually, driven by urbanization, industrial growth, and rural electrification. To meet the projected 2,600 terawatt-hours demand by 2030, coal remains the backbone, currently supplying over 70% of India's electricity. With reserves exceeding 360 billion tons, coal ensures energy stability. In 2024 to 2025, India produced 1.04 billion tons, 80% of it by Coal India Limited and its subsidiary, Southeastern Coalfields Limited, SECL. SECL alone hit a record 202 million tons, led by Gujarat, the country's largest mine, and Churcha, fueling power plants nationwide. As India integrates 300 gigawatts of renewables, coal provides critical baseload power, stabilizing the grid and supporting peak demand. Balancing clean energy with reliability, coal remains key to India's Atmanirbhar Bharat vision.
और जो कोयला उत्पादन करता है भारत का तकरीबन 20% की जो एनर्जी नीड्स है उसको फुलफिल करता है। जितना भी हमारी इंडस्ट्रीज़ हैं या डोमेस्टिक नीड्स हैं उनको फुलफिल करता है। जहाँ पे भी आप अगर लाइट देखते हैं तो समझिए इसमें से 20% जो प्रकाश है या हमारी इंडस्ट्री जो चल रही है उसमें SECL का कर्मी का कहीं ना कहीं मेहनत और पसीने का फल है।
India's coal sector is embracing innovation to boost efficiency, safety, and sustainability. Gujarat, located in Chhattisgarh, is set to become the world's largest coal mine. It is using eco-friendly surface miners, 42 cubic meter shovels, and 240-ton dumpers to increase output while reducing emissions. First-mile connectivity silos with a 25 million ton capacity ensure faster, cleaner coal transport. Despite tough geology, Churcha mine produced 1.598 million tons in 2024 to 2025, with 0 safety violations, thanks to rigorous compliance with PIT committees, internal audits, and DGMS standards. Looking ahead, India is investing in cleaner coal technologies. A $1 billion USD initiative launched in 2023 targets 100 million tons of coal gasification by 2030, converting coal to syngas for industrial use. Gevra's vast reserves place it at the heart of this shift. These advancements highlight how India is balancing rising energy needs with sustainability, keeping coal a key pillar of its power mix.
कि 100 मिलियन टन कोयले का उत्पादन हमें 2030 तक करना है। SCCL इसी विजन के साथ काम कर रहा है कि आने वाले समय में 2030 तक हम लोग 25 मिलियन टन के आसपास कोयला उत्पादन करेंगे, यानी टोटल जो उत्पादन है उसका 25%। और उसको करने के लिए हम लोग लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी, लेटेस्ट सेफ्टी गैजेट्स उनको प्रयोग कर रहे हैं। उसके तहत ये कोयला उत्पादन होगा। ये पूर्ण रीति से इन्वायरमेंट फ्रेंडली रहेगा। पर्यावरण के अनुकूल जितने भी संसाधन हैं वो प्रयोग होंगे। मिनिमम डैमेज ये इन्वायरमेंट को करेगा।
जो पहले की जो कल्चर थी कोल प्रोडक्शन की, तो क्या ब्लास्टिंग वगैरह से होता था। उस टाइम ऐसा होता था कि बहुत सारा पोल्यूशन होता था, ह्यूमन को दिक्कत होती थी और हम उतना आउटपुट नहीं निकाल पाता था। जब से ये न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी, सीएम टेक्नोलॉजी अंडरग्राउंड माइंस में आई है, तो एडवांटेज ये मिला है कि एक तो लेस मैन पावर कंज्यूम हो रहा है और साथ में हम हाई प्रोडक्शन कर रहे हैं विथ सेफ्टी के साथ।
Beyond powering India, the coal sector is driving sustainability and community development. SCCL's Jagannathpur project discharges 2,659 cubic meters of groundwater daily, aiding local farmers and boosting agriculture.
पहले तो खाली बरसात के भरोसे ही रहते थे सर सभी किसान, लेकिन जब से खदान का पानी आया है तब से दोनों फसल होता है और धान का भी खेती, धान दोनों फसल होता है, गेहूं का भी होता है और कुछ सब्जियां भी होता है।
At Bagaon, SCCL's 20 megawatt solar plant, commissioned in 2023 to 2024, generates over 38 million units of green energy annually, cutting 30,000 tons of CO2 and saving 2.4 million USD. Built on reclaimed mine land, it supports India's 300 gigawatt renewable energy target. SCCL also invests in community welfare through jobs, infrastructure, and education in mining regions.
कोल इंडिया में हमारे बच्चों को पढ़ाई लिखाई के लिए तमाम सुविधाएं मिलती हैं, बस सुविधा मिलती है, बड़े बड़े हाई एजुकेशन के लिए तमाम जो है सुविधाएं हैं। इसके बाद जो है हमको गाड़ी अलाउंस मिलता है, मेडिकल सुविधा मिलता है, क्वार्टर सुविधा मिलता है। हमारे बच्चों को खेलने के लिए पार्क की सुविधा है, बच्चों को स्कूल जाने के लिए गाड़ी की सुविधा है। सारी सुविधाएं हमें प्राप्त होती हैं। सारी सुविधाओं से हम बहुत खुश हैं।
India's coal sector, led by innovators like SCCL, is powering the nation while championing environmental care and social upliftment. This inspiring story of coal-driving energy, growth, and community welfare embodies India's relentless push towards its 2030 energy goals.
Baking has always been more than just food. It's culture, comfort, and craftsmanship. In India, few names embody this better than Karachi Bakery. Founded in Hyderabad in 1953, it grew from a small venture into a beloved brand with its iconic fruit biscuits and timeless treats. But its story is just a slice of a larger transformation: India's booming snacks industry. From traditional bakeries to packaged innovation, the sector is evolving rapidly to match changing lifestyles, consumer demands, and global tastes.
Established in 1953, Karachi Bakery began as a modest shop in India's Hyderabad city and has since grown into a beloved name across the globe. Founded by Kanchan Ramnani, a Sindhi migrant from Karachi, now part of Pakistan, the bakery has become a symbol of tradition, resilience, and irresistible flavor. From its humble beginnings to international fame, Karachi Bakery continues to win hearts with its timeless treats, especially its iconic fruit biscuits, which now carry the taste of heritage to every corner of the world.
1953 में लॉन्चिंग हुआ है। हमारा ओनर का नाम है कांचन रमनानी है, वो लॉन्चिंग किए हुआ है। ये अभी जब से अभी तक चलते जा रहा है। और उसके बाद अपना कराची का फेमस बिस्किट है, फ्रूट बिस्किट, उस्मानिया बिस्किट है, कैशू बिस्किट है, बादाम पिस्ता बिस्किट, जो कई बिस्किट आए। उसके बाद ये पूरे सारे वेराइटीज़ है पूरा बिस्किट्स के जो पीछे लगा हुआ है।
In Hyderabad, Karachi Bakery isn't just a store. It's a part of people's daily lives and sweet memories. For some, it's a pit stop after work. For others, a taste of nostalgia.
So people usually prefer the fruit biscuits over here, but personally I like the Osmania one. I like the sweet and salty flavor over here. So like whenever I am in this part of the town, I just grab like 5-10 minutes to take a quick bite in the cafeteria and take the Osmania biscuits as well.
One of the most favorite cakes that we use from Karachi Bakery is the chocolate truffle. It has been our go-to birthday cakes for all our friends and family. I think that's one of their top selling product. And we also like the fruit biscuits of Karachi Bakery.
Rooted in Hyderabad, Karachi Bakery has expanded to Bengaluru, Chennai, and Delhi, with its signature delights now enjoyed across the globe. From fruity biscuits to buttery muska buns, and from partition-era origins to innovative new treats, it has become more than just a bakery, a legacy of resilience, heritage, and flavor that connects generations.
It's not just Karachi Bakery. India's love for snacking has fueled a massive transformation in the industry. What was once a cottage-based, unorganized sector is now evolving into a modern, tech-driven, globally competitive space. Pune's Chitle Bandhu is a shining example of this shift, reflecting the dynamic growth of India's snack culture and its journey towards self-reliance.
Once rooted in home kitchens and local markets, India's snack industry has grown into a key economic force. Despite changing consumer habits, rising health awareness, and the boom in online food delivery, the market remains resilient. According to Statista, snack food revenue is projected to hit $17.11 billion in 2025, with a steady 6.89% annual growth through 2030. Pune's Chitali Bandhu embodies this evolution, rising from a local favorite to a global brand, exporting Indian namkeen to over 65 countries and redefining the snack game.
By 2035, this market is supposed to become a 1,10,000 crore market. So at that market size, what we are seeing is that firstly, the per capita income in India is going to rise. The GDP is likely going to rise, and that way there will be more expendable income for people to spend on brands. So that's why the 30% organized and the 70% unorganized market will eventually consolidate, where we'll probably have a 60% organized market by the end of this or in a decade's time.
From cherished bakeries to global snack giants, India's evolving taste is reshaping its food industry. As tradition meets innovation, the country's snack culture is not just growing, it's thriving, creating a flavorful future rooted in legacy and ambition.
From timeless biscuits to cutting-edge snack innovations, India's journey from the bakery shelf to the global market is a testament to its resilience, adaptability, and taste for transformation. And with that, we wrap up today's episode of My India. We will see you next week at the same time. Till then, goodbye and take care.